Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, I already helped mute everyone.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Nikki.
Sure.
So once we get to like the game portion, we'll unmute everyone so we can have like a little bit of talking and interaction. But at least now for the presentation section, we'll just have everyone muted. And hopefully that will help in terms of the quality of the presentation. Because as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we're going to record this. I'll edit out the trivia section or the interaction section, because, you know, I don't know how helpful that will be for people watching the video. But we're just going to cover maybe some of the basics of the program, and then, you know, I mean, this is a networking organization, so we do want to have a little bit of networking time at the end. So I guess with that, it's 6:02, so I guess let's get started. So this is a project that I've been working on with a handful of other students, called the MBA Network at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. Let's see. Here we go. So we're primarily focused on supporting the distance learning community as well as facilitating student and alumni networking through events and other types of interaction. And I'll touch on that later, but you know, we want to have events and we want to compile resources and we want to focus on the distance learning community as well as networking with alumni. So I think that's important and something that I didn't see a lot of in the online MBA program. While it's an amazing program, I thought there were some needs that should be met, and I think this is a great opportunity to fill them. But first, before we get into more of the details of the organization, let's meet the team making this happen. So what I'm going to ask you, the leadership team, to do is, I think you have the capability of unmuting yourself. So once we get to you, we'll go in order on this slide. Once we get to you, just unmute yourself, and we'll go over these questions. So first, we'll start with our advisor, Dr. Nikki. I'm sure most of you know her as the Management and Information Systems 5325 instructor. Pretty much everyone's favorite class, I think. So I'll let her introduce herself.
Hey, hi everyone, and thanks a lot for very kind comments from Sophia. Where I come from, right? Actually, I was born in Thailand, and then I have the bachelor in accounting, and also have another bachelor degree in law, and then working in the industry for about 5 years with Arthur Andersen. We no longer have Arthur Andersen right now, right? Anyway, and then have an opportunity to come to the United States. So I have master in accounting. And then after I finish my master, and of course, no offense to people with accounting major, but I was so sick of accounting, so I decided to do the PhD in information system instead. And I have never imagined myself to become the teacher. I just think that teaching is the most boring career in the world. I mean, at that time, that is my belief about this teaching. It's just like go to the class, teach something, and then come back. Compared to working as a consultant, it's going to be totally different. But before, I think about one semester before I graduated from my PhD, my advisor asked me to try, like, submit my application, and I said, why not? I mean, no harm. So I submitted my application and very lucky to get an offer from the University of Iowa. So, you know, of course, not only the salary, but it's very good university, so it's just too difficult to say no. So I decided that I'm going to go there and teach for 1 year and go back to my country to continue working as the consultant. My first class, I was shaking. I cannot remember anyone. It's 126 students in the class. And I cannot remember anyone. At the end of the year, my teaching evaluation is horrible. Okay, so I just said I cannot quit the job right now because people will remember me as a horrible teacher. So So I just said, okay, I continue. And the second year, it's about 50% improved, but it's still not to my satisfaction. So I continue again. And finally, I just thinking that, my thinking about the teaching career is wrong. It's just not that boring. It's very easy to teach the class, but it's very, very difficult to motivate students who want to learn in the class. So I think somehow I already fall in love with teaching career. So I decided that I want to continue doing this, but Iowa is too cold for me. So I just submit my application only to the warm zone. And of course, Corpus Christi is as warm as you can get, right? So that's why I just came to teach at the University Texas A&M in 2001. So it's already my 20 years teaching here. So what else? My favorite class, when I was a student, right? I think I like the database system class. It's something that I see a lot of useful in in terms of materials that I learned in that class, and I still use that a lot, even currently. And that's it. What I plan to do, just continue teaching. Okay, I think that's it.
What you plan to do is the leadership position, right? So you're our faculty advisor. So you're going to help us, get our button on the business school website, right?
Sure. Anything that I can help, just let me know.
Okay. And just to make it a little bit more fun, Dr. Nikki, if you were stranded on an island, what would you wish you brought with you?
What do you wish I bring with me? Can I say something to eat?
Sure. Thanks, Dr. Nikki. Thank you for helping us and for your introduction.
You are very welcome.
Okay. So I'm Sophia. I conceived the idea of this organization through, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the guidance document that I put together, and I realized that there was a lot of need for kind of compiled information and resources for the online MBA program. So that's how I kind of came up with the idea of this organization. I was born in Sacramento, California, grew up in Kansas City. I did my undergrad in Los Angeles. I lived in the United Arab Emirates for maybe 5 years, almost 5 years. Then I lived in Orange County. Then I lived in Mexico. So I don't know that I really identify with one place. I don't know if you can see my video, but I put as my Texas license plate. I don't know how legal this is, but I was in Texas for Hurricane Harvey relief efforts with my environmental company, and part of the debris removal, I found a Texas license plate. So I thought I had to show that, even though I've never lived in Texas, I'm there, and I do love Texas. I'm actually done with the general MBA. Right now, I just have a few classes left for the data analytics concentration. So I'll be on until the fall, unless I decide to rack up a few more classes, because I think I'm a lifelong learner. I really enjoy school. My favorite class, aside from Dr. Nikki's class, has probably been operations management. I really enjoy efficiency and making things work really fluidly and easily, and I don't know. I love efficiency. What do I plan to do in my leadership position? Well, I plan to support the rest of the leadership team with whatever they're working on and their responsibilities. I also plan to work pretty heavily in recruitment and getting people involved and, getting as much feedback as I can on how to improve this organization and how to really make it work for the needs of the students involved and the alumni involved. So I want to make this a long-standing organization. I hope that it's not just, this year and then, it goes kaput. So I want to make sure that this is a sustainable organization. So that's what I plan to do, is to work on making this a sustainable organization and supporting the rest of the leadership team. And then if I was stranded on an island, I want to say I would bring my husband. I might bring a picture of my husband, but I think I would bring my dog because I love my dog and he's the best. And I guess that's it for me. I'll pass it over to Atia, our VP, if she is on the line. Go for it, Atia.
Hey, my name's Atia. Where am I from? So I'm the VP for this awesome group. I'm so glad Sophia brought me on for the ride. It's been an exciting, I think it's been like 2 to 3 weeks that we've already been working on this. So it's been kind of exciting to see our first event happening already. So where am I from? I was born in India, and then I moved to Saudi Arabia when I was 6 months old. And then when I was 9, we immigrated to the U.S. And we lived in Houston my whole life. But then for medical school, I decided I wanted to go to Central Asia. So I went to Kyrgyzstan for medical school. I did my MD out there. Came back, took my licensing exams, and then had my twin boys at the end of 2018. So I decided that the clinical world wasn't for me at that point. I needed to spend more time with my kids, et cetera, et cetera. So I went into healthcare consulting at that point. And then 2.5 months after I had my boys, I was pregnant again. Now I have 3 kids under 18 months, and I work as a healthcare consultant. And I'm kind of glad that I stepped away from the clinical medicine with everything going on with COVID-19. So it just kind of worked out that way. So that's a little bit about what I do as well. How far along am I in the program? I'm taking 1 class at a time, and I'm trying to do a double concentration with data analytics and healthcare admin. So I have been in the program a year, and I have another year and a half to go. So we'll see if I finish in time. We're looking at December 21. So my favorite class, aside from MISR 5325, obviously, is I actually have been really enjoying organizational behavior. The material is very interesting. The way it's been taught is a different story, but the material is really good because especially if you've been working, you can already relate your coworkers to what you're doing, certain situations, circumstances that you've been in. It's interesting. What do I plan to do in my position? So I'm just here to be a support system. Whoever wants to do, whatever they want to do. I have a lot of great ideas, as I keep telling Sophia from the beginning. And so I'm always here to lend an ear and provide feedback and just, be there to help this group become successful. And on an island, if I was stranded, so I'm guessing it's a tropical island, so we don't have any problems with food. So I would take my kids because I think it would be really cute to see all 3 of them running around on the beach. They haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Atia. Ryan, go for it. Or if you're there, if not,
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Ryan. I am from Katy, Texas. I live in Katy. I work in Houston. I'm a financial accountant for a marine transportation company. I've worked for Shell, and then I currently work for a company called Kirby Corporation. I'm about halfway through the MBA program after this semester. I have 3 classes left, so I plan to graduate in December. Currently not doing a concentration. I've thrown around the idea of adding an accounting concentration, but don't really plan on it right now. I think my favorite class so far has probably been entrepreneurship. I know Sophie is expecting. I sent her a Q&A with a bunch of sarcastic answers in case I couldn't make it, but I think entrepreneurship has been really interesting. I would like to start my own business someday. My leadership team position formally is treasurer, so assisting in securing funding, preparing, monitoring budget, things like that. Kind of goes hand in hand with my background in accounting. Besides that, I've helped Sophia with kind of honing the whole onboarding and verification process, do graphic design to a lot of the logos that you see. Sophia and I have worked on those together, and just generally helping.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you. You give yourself more credit. You did all of the logo design, right?
I mean, it was a collaboration. I did all the grunt work, but she helped tell me what looked good and what didn't. So, and stranded on an island, what do I wish I brought with me? If it's like a survival situation, I would say probably a machete. If it's entertainment, DVD copy of Legally Blonde.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Katie, are you there to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect.
So I'm Katie Donato. I'm originally from New Jersey, so if anyone ever asks me where I'm from, that's where I'm going to say. But I live in Georgia. I live in a smaller town, it's not that small, but it's Noonan, and it's probably about 40 miles south of Atlanta, just to give you guys a little bit of the geographical thing there. I'm a process improvement engineer for Millikan. My undergraduate I got in mechanical engineering at University of South Carolina. That's the real USC. I know that it's a joke, but just so everyone knows, I see Sophia laughing. It's the real USC. So moving on from that, I've been doing that for a little over 2.5 years now. It'll be 3 years in October, and honestly, I kind of like it. It's a lot of documentation work, but I'm one of those gringos that really likes that kind of paperwork, tedious stuff, so that's part of why I'm the secretary. I'm not that far in the MBA program. I have, I think after this term, like 8 classes left, so I'm looking to graduate in August of next year. And my favorite class, again, just because I'm not that far into it, Dr. Nikki, I'm not trying to kiss up to you here, but I did enjoy your class a lot. So I definitely appreciated that one the most so far. As for what I plan to do with this position, again, I'm going to try to take notes for everything and help with suggestions, and I try to be a support system when I can, and a lot of it is like sending emails to other members or trying to be encouraging when I can, just overall until we get things going, and then hopefully be able to be more of a support for you guys. And if I'm stranded, I gotta be honest, originally I was thinking my dog, and then Ryan said that if it was a survival thing, I might get so hungry I'd have to eat my dog, and I couldn't think about that. So I said a survival specialist, because I just think that that's a better option. And then hopefully everything would end up being okay. So, but that's it.
Cool. Thank you, Katie. Gloria, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm good. I heard you. So it's about me. I'm Ghanaian. I'm from Dallas for the past 9 years.
Gloria, can you, sorry to interrupt you. Can you speak up just a little bit because I can barely hear you?
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
I'm Gloria, the media director, and I was born in Ghana. I have lived in Dallas, Texas for the past 9 years. I got my bachelor's from the University of Texas at Dallas. I got a bachelor's in business administration. Started my MBA after a semester. I have been an entrepreneur for the past 5 years and it's a part of serious competition. I started at Texas A&M University this January 2020, and I plan to graduate my favorite class in film.
Sorry, Gloria, you're cutting out just a little bit. I can't. Can you maybe come closer to the mic? Because I want everyone to take a picture.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. My favorite class so far has been operations management. Since I applied electrical concepts to my business strategy On the leadership team, I plan to keep the members well informed through our social media platform creates engagement among our members and connections that I hope will bring a great opportunity. And if I'm stranded on an island, I would love to bring my son, but he's too little. So I'll probably bring a blanket to keep him warm. And it was nice to see you all.
Great. Thanks, Gloria. And I'm not sure if Deborah is on the line. Deborah, were you able to make it today? No. No problem. I do have information from her. She sent it ahead of time. Deborah is from Dallas, Texas, but she lives in Naples, Florida. She's an internal medicine doctor. She's super busy, which is understandable. She's an internal medicine doctor in the time of COVID, so I anticipate that she'll be, quite busy. But I think she has some great impact on the organization, or she'll be able to give us a lot of insight. She has 5 classes left in the program after this term. Her favorite class, she says she really enjoyed marketing management. So in her leadership team position, she plans to be a resource for alumni and students to help facilitate networking and introduce people to various opportunities. And if she's stranded on an island, she wishes she had her husband. LOL. So yeah, I'm sure for the couple of people that weren't able to make it today, I'm sure you'll get to know them throughout our interactions in the organization. And I don't know if you mentioned or if you noticed on this slide, it says tentative positions. There might be a little bit of moving around. The university has a couple of requirements in terms of positions, so there may be some available positions open. So if that's something that you're interested in, we're going to be looking for people who are super engaged in the platform and super helpful. So reach out and let me know, or let one of us know, and we'll figure it out internally. This first year, we're kind of doing a more selective process in terms of who's on the leadership team. But we do have a constitution, and after this first year, it's going to be democratically elected positions. So unfortunately, alumni won't be able to vote, but the student body will be able to vote, and positions will be elected based on a vote. Next slide. Okay. So I wanted to do a brief overview of why networking is important. I know most of you probably know this, but whether you're looking for a job or hiring an employee or starting up a business like, Ryan wants to do, hopefully, and, I may want to do, hopefully, or even if your company gives you a bonus for recruiting someone who gets hired, they always say it's who you know, not what you know. Well, I hope we all realize what you know is important, but who you know is sometimes just as important as what you know, because you can't know everything, right? So it's very important to make connections to help fill in your gaps, to be as productive and efficient as you can be. So that's my take on why networking is important. We can discuss that, after this session, and maybe you can add your 2 cents about that. Okay, but what are we going to do? So aside from providing an active and growing number of members in the online platform to communicate with and connect with and network with, we're planning to have monthly networking meetings, webinars, workshops, mentoring events, and a continuously updated document filled with student discounts, which is actually already started. So if you're in the online platform, if you go to, I think it's important information channel or something like that, important info. There's a link to a document that we've put together with a lot of free softwares and programs that you have access to as a TAMU-CC student. So I don't want to say the university doesn't do a good job of advertising those because I was able to find them, but sometimes you have to do a little bit of digging. So we're trying to, make resources readily available and there for you. We're also planning to release some surveys to see what people think about different aspects of the program and what we could do to address some of the challenges associated with e-learning. This is a new program. I don't know. Someone can help me with muting. I appreciate it. Anyway, so we want to help address some of the challenges that are associated with e-learning since it's kind of a new thing that's happening. I don't know how long the online MBA program has been around, but, a lot of people were surprised to find out that this kind of thing wasn't in place already. So, we want to make it the best it can be, because this is going to be all of our alma maters, right? So where do we meet? I got a lot of questions about this. So just like the MBA program, we're fully online, but that doesn't mean you can't plan local meetups as well. In-person networking is just as important as virtual networking, but, in the current times with COVID, we're doing the best with what we have, and because this is an online MBA program, there are people from all over the place. I'm not in Texas. I think most of the leadership team is not in Texas, or at least half of the leadership team is not in Texas. So we're going to be focused mostly on online networking, but that doesn't mean at all that you can't plan, local meetups or events. This is something I wanted to address because there was some discussion about this earlier. So we're using Discord. So we did a thorough analysis of Microsoft Teams, Slack, and Discord, a Facebook page, LinkedIn page. They each have very similar interfaces, and we can set them up in a text-only way, similar to the layout of GroupMe and what we have in our platform. But the free benefits that are provided with Discord really outweigh the others. For example, so the university has access to Microsoft Teams, but if we use Teams, we wouldn't be able to add alumni. So we're using Discord because it allows for alumni. Slack allows us to save the last 10,000 messages. So with Discord, we can search all the way back in the text channels and see what other students have had to say about things. And it has a search functionality similar to kind of your email. So and then the free version of Microsoft Teams, which is a great platform, but there's a membership capacity, and it's 300. And in the first 2 weeks, we have over 120 people who have signed up. So that's really not going to be a viable option for us either. So this is what we settled on, and we're going to make the most of it. So I wanted to go over this because we actually do have a process of onboarding, because we want to make sure that everyone in our organization is affiliated with Texas A&M Corpus Christi. So when you sign up, when you fill out our form, you'll get an email with a link to our online community. You can create your account with any email address, any password. This is your account with Discord. It's not our platform. Similar to GroupMe or similar to Facebook. This is your account. So when you sign in, however, when you follow the link that's sent, you'll get access to basically what you see here. You'll get a welcome message, and I really encourage you to read it. There's a lot of information there, but there's a lot of guidance as well, and it'll help expedite the process so you can get access to all of our resources. So we have a nicknaming convention to help us identify you and confirm your affiliation with the university. So to update your nickname, what we require here is either first name and last name or first name and last initial. So this is the online platform, but it's very similar in the app. So when you're in the app on your phone, you'll go to the channels layout and you'll click on the top, and you'll get a drop down and you'll click on change nickname. Super simple. You just fill in, for example, I would be Sophia space Zumot or Sophia space Z. You can make it all one word. You can do whatever you want. It's just for us. This is the only manual portion for us. We have to go in and check to see, are you in, the university system? Are you in the database? If you're a student, we also require that you get verified on iEngage. That's That's our officially affiliated page with Texas A&M. And the school does have funding for us, but I think the school does have funding available for us. But to petition for it, I think the best way to go about doing that is to show that we have an active and engaged membership. So before we verify you, we need you to join us on iEngage. There's really nothing other than that. If you're an alumni, you don't have to do that. If you're an alumni and you want to do that, that would be great too. It'll get our numbers up and then it'll make us look better. So that's awesome. Once you've done those two things, sorry, I keep moving the mouse so this comes up. Once you do those two things, you type in the search or in the text box, you type exclamation point accept. I would love it if this was a little bit of an easier process, but we're doing the best with what we can with this free platform. So that's the process. You're accepting our code of conduct, which I recommend you read. We're a non-political organization. We are not going to tolerate any bullying, anything like that. You can read all about that in our code of conduct. I expect everyone in a professional organization kind of has that understanding. So that's that, and press accept, and then you'll get access to the general channel while we get you verified. So you'll be able to type in this channel and interact and all that. Once you are verified, we have some additional channels. Verified only will be students and alumni. Alumni only will be the alumni only channel. So, only for the alumni, and students only is obviously only for students. And we'll try and keep the resources in those channels relevant to you. If you want to see what's pinned, what's important or relevant, you'll go to there's like a little pin and you have stuff saved there. For example, right now, this flyer, if you click there, you'll see this flyer because that's what's relevant right now. So I recommend you get familiar with the platform. It's a really cool thing and it's very efficient. So I do want to answer your questions, but, we don't have all the time in the world. So, first I want to get to the networking game. We'll have a little bit of fun. If you have any questions, try and keep those in your mind until the end. But I do want to get to, the fun part because this is a networking organization and I think it's important that we meet, everyone here. So, this is going to be a trivia game. Katie's going to see score. I think if everyone pulls up their chat box, does everyone see where the chat box is? I'll take a quick hello. All right. So what you're going to do, I'm going to read a question, and after I read the question, Anna, no.
Sorry, I hit a button.
No problem. No worries. You can unmute your mic because part of this networking game is going to be introducing yourself. So these questions are guesstimation questions. They're going to be very ridiculous, and I hope no one knows I'll be very impressed if anyone knows the answer to any of these questions. But don't Google them. That kind of takes the fun out of it. Also, there's a time limit, so you probably won't have time to do that anyway. You have a few seconds to answer the question in the chat box before the time runs out. Whoever gets the closest answer within the allotted time gets a point and has 30 seconds to introduce themselves to the group. If you've already introduced yourself, you can choose someone who hasn't. The person with the most points at the end of the game gets a prize, which we'll discuss at the end of the game. So we have, I think we have a practice question. Let's do the practice. This one's not worth any points. So I'll read the question. Once I finish reading the question, the timer will start. And that's, you have from the time I start reading the question to when the answer shows up to answer the question. So, how many elective classes are required to complete the general MBA at Texas A&M Corpus Christi? And also, you guys unmute your mics. We're going to be chatting. This is
Ryan.
17. This will be the last trivia question, and then we'll give Felipe his prize. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea what the points are. So this will be the last trivia question, and then we will open it up to questions. Okay, how many dimples are on a golf ball?
Oh. Somebody say 121. Oh man. The 121 wins. Yay!
and more. All right, so Katie, what do the points look like?
So Felipe is first place with 5 points. And then we have Lori and Mahak are tied with 3. And then everyone else got 1.
I'm really disappointed in all of you people that only got 1 point because, I mean, these questions were so easy. Just kidding. All right, so Felipe, and actually for everyone, I don't know if you noticed that we have like custom emojis in our communication platform. So I narrowed it down to 4, and Felipe, you get to choose which custom emoji you want. Okay, let me preface this by saying I sincerely hope we start getting some funding so we can get like better prizes and better, engagement initiatives and better resources for you guys. But, right now we don't really have funding, and I don't feel comfortable asking for dues or anything from students who are joining. So for the first few events, we're probably going to be like bootstrapping this a little bit. So for this prize, Felipe, you get to pick what our next emoji is going to be in the group chat.
How about the eye with the wave?
The second one, yeah, this one.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Well, you win. So that's pretty much it for tonight. You guys can sign off. I'll stick around for about 10 minutes if you have questions about the organization, about the platform, about the leadership team position, about anything, constitution, code of conduct, whatever you have questions about. I will try and answer them the best that I can, and if the leadership team wants to stick around, they can maybe give their input as well. Wow. I guess I did a really good job at explaining everything. No, come on. Really? No questions?
I'll ask you a question. Like, what are you envisioning here in the next maybe 6 months, year? Like, what do you want this thing to look like?
So that's kind of why I had the slide on the importance of networking. When I was looking at MBA programs, I looked at a lot of programs, and there were programs, like Harvard and University of Southern California. And those programs are like $100,000, and I truly do not believe that they're learning significantly more than what we're learning in this program. In fact, I don't believe that any of this knowledge can't be gained for free online. I think there are so many resources right now that are free online in terms of like edX and things like that. And someone told me like, well, you're not really paying for the information. You're paying for the certification, like for the degree, and you're paying for the connections that you make. And I think that's 100% true. Like the only difference between our program and a USC program or a Harvard MBA program is the connections that you make and the people that you make. And I'm really thankful that there are a lot of classes that do focus on group projects where you do get to interact and get to know a few of your classmates. But there's really nothing else that the university is facilitating in terms of getting to know people in the program. And I truly believe in the importance of networking. Like, Ryan said, hopefully he might want to start his own business. I am kind of exploring a couple of options in terms of maybe starting a nonprofit or, like Felipe, when you mentioned you were involved in nonprofits, like, holy cow, I'm probably going to reach out to you directly and ask you a few questions because, those are things that are really important to me. So anyway, that's what I envision. I envision this as a place for us to grow our network and make connections with our peers. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, I was nodding in silence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, the way that the video works, I guess I don't see your face or your video unless there's like audio coming forward because I don't know. Cool. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
How often are y'all thinking about doing these networking events?
So our goal is to have, here comes my dog. Our goal is to have an event once a month. So Danny is the events director, but I've made it very clear to the leadership team that, if there's something that's important to them or an initiative they want to pursue or host or whatever, they're more than welcome to do so. So our goal is to have one event per month. There might be more. There might be a month where we don't have an event. I'm not sure. I don't want to be held to any requirement. This is a volunteer organization, right? So all the leadership teams they're doing this on their own time, and I appreciate, all of the time that everyone's devoting to this. So our aim is once a month. It might be more, it might be less, depending on, everyone's workload and everyone's life.
Well, thank y'all for putting this together. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Anything else? All right. Well, it was really great meeting all of you, and I hope to be in contact in the online platform, and I hope to see you at future events.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.